Hello and welcome to another Scottish mountain walking video. For today's walk I've returned to Loch Quioch to climb Spidean Mialach and Gleouraich. This is a reasonably easy circular route to navigate with a clear path to follow for the most part. I think it would be even easier to navigate if you were to go in the opposite direction from what I'm describing here. On this particular day, the majority of the walk was in cloud. I've included some video from the last time I did the walk which shows some stunning views and what you get to see on a good day. The total distance for today's walk is 12.3 kilometres with 1209 metres of ascent. It is expected to take around 5.5 hours to walk. There is no scrambling or exposure as long as you keep away from the edges. As always, I've shown the full route in time lapse and include video turn by turn commentary and panoramic views from along the walk. Parking is free. It is a very small car park. You can fit around 5 vehicles. There are no height restrictions and there's no fees. It's around 4 hours drive from both Glasgow and Edinburgh. From the car park, go back along the single track road heading southeast for around 400 metres, then take the clear gravel track on your left. Follow the gravel track in an east and then northeasterly direction. It's a reasonably steep ascent and eventually it levels off and it even starts to descend slightly. You cross a couple of streams at this point, and I'm going to change map views to show that there are also a couple of different paths here. I followed the path on the left. It was the most obvious and worn path, at least to me on the day, but it wasn't the right way to go. It might be slightly easier if you continue along the single track road and then take the second junction on the left, which leads you to the same point and you'd already be on the path on the right. In the video you'll see that I adjusted my course slightly further on and then rejoined the path around about here. From here the path is clear all the way to the summit of Spidean Mialach. The ground gets a little bit rockier near the summit. From the summit of Spidean Mialach to Gleouraich, it's an easy route to navigate on a clear day, and even in the cloud, as long as you follow the ridge line and keep left at a couple of points, then it's easy enough to navigate. The first point to keep left is here. As you're walking along, you'll come to a steep drop off straight ahead, and you can really only go left or right, so keep left. Then just a little bit further along, you'll also want to keep left. The path along this section was good at times, but also faint at other times, so keeping sight of the ridge on your right hand side helps with the navigation. You descend down here to Fair Bealach and then up the other side in a northwest direction. The path up the other side is very good and easy to follow, and there are no difficulties all the way to the next top. From here you descend down. There is a rocky section that leads you further south, and at this point I lost the path. There were some signs of wear ahead, and if I had followed them it would have taken me further down below the Bealach. On a clear day it's obvious that you need to turn to the right, but in the cloud you need to be a bit more careful. After that the path is very clear and easy to follow to the summit of Gleouraich, and even all the way back down to the car park. From the summit of Gleouraich you continue heading northwest for another 300 metres and you'll come to another small little top, and from this top you want to turn to your left and follow the clear path as it heads southwest. The path naturally bends more to the south and there are lots of zigzags on the descent here. It is quite steep terrain. If you could descend as a crow flies, you would save yourself a kilometre over the total descent distance. When you get near the bottom, you've got to make your way through another rhododendron forest, which is, as always, typically overgrown and muddy, and eventually you'll come out at the car park. Good morning, it's 8:30. It's a bit of a damp looking day. I'm at the start of the walk. That post is where you come out at the end. And to begin with, we go back down the single track road, about 200 or 300 metres, and then there's a turn off up onto the mountain on the left hand side. So here we have the start of the path going up the mountain. That no vehicle access sign is a good indicator. So we're just going to turn off and start heading up this gravel track. Directly ahead is Spidean Mialach. Just some light cloud on the summit. We might get lucky. It's not forecast to be clear. At least it wasn't yesterday. Less than half an hour into the walk, but it is quite a steep start. Good path so far. it starts to level off now. I've only done this walk once before and it was in the snow and I was unable to follow the path. I think I just cut straight across the moor there, headed to that low point on the ridge. I wasn't sure what to expect from this path. It's not been too bad, certainly nothing as bad as last week's. This bit's a bit marshy, and as we're getting lower down here ahead, I expect it'll get slightly worse. Once you're up the other side, it's pretty much a rocky, grassy path all the way around. From here I've got about 3 more streams to cross, including this one. So I'll fill up just slightly further ahead. After that, it doesn't look like there are any streams marked on the map until you get right back down close to the car park. I missed the turn. There's a well-made path, or well-used path, up the left-hand side of this little stream, and it keeps going up there. But I want to be going up towards that rocky mass, maybe even slightly to the right there. So I'm going to just make my way up here. I'm going to collect some water here, and then just make my way up towards that rocky outcrop, and join back up with the path. And I found the path again. Getting closer to the cloud, and it's starting to get a fair bit steeper now. Around 650 metres in altitude. The summit is just under 1,000 metres, so 350 metres to go. Might be a nice spot to wild camp, that little loch in there. Yeah, it's getting a bit dreich. Heading off up into the cloud now. coming to some rocky section here with 70 metres of ascent to go to the summit. Spidean Mialach. So from the summit, you're going to head west and you're just walking along following this ridge line. So you've got that nice big drop on your right hand side, and there should be a fairly clear path along here. And from here on, the navigation is straightforward, if I recall correctly. I'm just going to descend down this ridge line and then go back up the other side. Sometimes the path gets a bit faint over this rocky terrain, and the path, it does keep to the very north edge. It bends round from west to northwest following the ridge line. If you come to this steep drop and this razor thin ridge on your right, you don't want to go down that side. You want to turn to your left. And then follow this ridge line ahead. So we're not going straight down the steep bit, but it is going to get steeper as we descend down here now. At this point the path goes a little bit to the left. I was expecting to have a more visible path. You can see there's some signs of wear there, but it looks like the main path on the map goes down a little bit here and then curves round to the right. Found faint signs of a path again. Looks like it goes down parallel to that drop off on the right. Just go straight ahead and then eventually it'll bend round and join right onto that ridgeline. I think if you're in any doubt, just keep close to the edge. Looking back, on the way down there, the higher section, some of the path was a bit vague. Once you got about halfway down, there was a really good, strong, clear path to follow. It zigzagged, nice and easy, no difficulty at all coming down there, other than it being a bit vague at the top. But there's no cliffs, no rocky sections to clamber down. This is the lowest section of the Mialach between the two Munros. A little bit of visibility, but we're still in the cloud. And now the path just continues up the other side. I remember this looking a bit intimidating from a distance when you could see where you were going on the last walk, and hopefully if I can find the videos I'll cut that into this so you can see what it looks like when it's covered in snow. But I didn't recall any real difficulties going up this side, so hopefully the path continues to be clear and you are just going up the ridge directly ahead. I'm now up at a top that's on this ridge line, climbed up to just over 1,000 metres. The path up there is good, easy to follow. Unfortunately we're going to drop back down to 950 metres and then ascend up to the summit, which is about 1,030 metres, and it's about 1 kilometre distance, just heading straight ahead. It should be easy enough to navigate, just a little bit more of a down and up. So I lost the path back there, I don't know where it went. It almost looks like there's faint signs going further down there. Fortunately I can see the low point of the Mialach directly ahead there over on the right. So I'm just going to contour around. I did need to use the GPS to confirm I was at the right altitude. You don't want to keep going down there, that would be no fun. So I'm going to go around there and then up the other side. Most of this ascent recently has not been too steep. That last little bit excluded. From here it undulates a little bit long, but another 250 metres to the summit. Not much altitude, maybe 30 metres. At the summit of Gleouraich. That last bit of the ridge was a bit challenging from a mental perspective. There were so many false tops, and in the cloud it looked like you're coming up to a pointy summit, and then just as you got closer to it, a bit like a mirage, there'd be another pointy summit behind it. Apart from the cloud, the weather's not bad. It's not raining at the moment. There's not any wind to speak of. Unfortunately, no views today. I'll have a little rest, something to eat and drink before heading down. It has taken me 4 hours and 20 minutes to get to the second summit. From the summit, you're going to bend a little bit to the left and just follow right along the ridgeline. You're on the highest point and it'll bend round. You're heading almost westerly, but it's a wee bit northwest to start with, and then it'll bend 90 degrees and head sort of southwesterly. And then you're going to join a long ridgeline that heads more south, and you just follow that all the way down. Eventually you'll bend more to the left, and that'll take you back down to the car park. Fairly easy descent route. walking back, I've just come up a slight incline to a little top, and at this point the path bends 90 degrees to your left. And then all you've got to do is follow this down. It's going to bend a bit more to the left further on, but it should be straightforward to follow. So far this is a really nice easy descent path. I'm almost halfway down and it's only been half an hour since I left the top. I'm pretty sure the last time I didn't have a clue where the path was and I was just coming straight down through the snow, so it was a lot heavier going. I don't recall this nice easy path that time. A nice clear small cairn. At this point the path bends southeast, but it's been easy and clear to follow, and it's going to get a bit steeper in the descent now, but not far to go. I can make out the road and the loch down there, just beyond that pylon. So what looks like a short distance on the map is really stretched out with all the zigzags coming down there. It's a lot longer than it looks. But now we come down here and then the path goes down through the woods a little bit and brings you out at the car park. I'm back at the car park. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I look forward to showing you more in the next one. Bye for now.